Hello everyone, I'm Wolfgang Grey with Grey's Horizons. My channel is new, so if you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you think your bank account is yours, try using it after an algorithm flags you at 2 a.m. Card declines, transfers freeze, auto pays bounce. No one you elected flipped that switch. And when you call, you hear the script, "For your protection." In early August 2025, the White House told bank regulators to stop using a fuzzy category called reputational risk, supposed to cut down on politicized account closures. Sounds good, but the systems that gate your money, fraud models, AML checks, third-party scores, don't vanish because a memo changed. They don't need to know your views to shut you out. They just need a flag. Here's how that hits real people. You're traveling and you try to buy a ticket home. Declined. Your paycheck lands, but a filter reviews it, so your mortgage autopay fails and fees stack. You help a family member in an emergency and a compliance engine decides it looks like structuring. Suddenly, you're proving innocence to a chatbot and a tier 1 rep who can't see the back office notes. Banks say it's not political, it's risk-based. Regulators say they don't tell banks who to serve, they just enforce rules. Meanwhile, you're locked out of your own life. Think of your money like a license. Licenses can be revoked first and explained later. So let's talk about what you can actually do. Things that work when you're the one on hold. If your account is frozen or closed, assume you'll get very little information. That's normal. Don't argue for the secret sauce. Ask only for what moves money and clocks. Say this: please note my account is blocked. I need 3 things in writing. First, the status and the date my funds will be released. Second, how the money will be returned. Cashier's check, wire, or transfer. Third, the department handling the review and my case number. Pause. Then, if this is a fraud or error situation, please open the official dispute now and give me the investigation timeline. If you can't complete it fast, do I qualify for provisional credit to cover essential bills? That's it. You're not asking for internal risk codes or any law enforcement report. They can't give those. You're locking them into dates, methods, and a ticket number. Next line, I need a call back from a supervisor or a back office team within 24 hours. Please escalate to executive customer care or your account operations team, whoever can release holds. You're not asking for the CEO. You're asking for the people who can actually push buttons. If they stonewall, switch to logistics. Where do I send a written complaint so it reaches the right team? I'll follow up by secure message and certified mail. Please put that address and my request in the notes. Then create a paper trail. Send a short, factual summary through the bank's secure message center and by email. Mail a 1-page letter with your case number. Paper wakes people up. Expect this. You won't get the internal reason code. You won't see model outputs, and they won't discuss any suspicious activity report. You can get a closure letter, a release date, and the method they'll return your balance. If it's an unauthorized debit, you can trigger consumer protection timelines and sometimes get provisional credit while they investigate. If it's a credit card billing error, you can force a formal review and pause payment on the disputed piece. If it's a routine check hold, you can ask which availability rule they're using and the exact release date. Every time they say we can't, bring it back to the basics. Dates, return method, department, case number. Please send that in writing. If you're in the US, file a simple complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau the same day. It routes your case to a higher tier team and starts a clock. If you're in Canada, work the bank's internal steps, then escalate to the external ombudsman. Either way, write down dates, names, and promises. Screenshots help. But the best move is to reduce single point dependence before anything breaks. Have at least 2 checking accounts at different institutions. A big bank for convenience and a credit union or community bank for resilience. Keep a backup debit card and, if you can, a second card network. Split your auto pays so one freeze doesn't nuke your whole month. Keep a 48 to 72 hour cash buffer for gas, groceries, a bus ticket, a cheap motel. If you travel, keep a little local currency. Keep a second phone number or eSIM active so you can still get one-time passcodes if your main line goes down. Harden your identity so you trip fewer alarms. Use a password manager. Freeze your credit with the big bureaus. Set account alerts for transactions over a number you choose. The fewer surprises, the fewer fraud flags. Now the part most people ignore until it's urgent. Alternative rails. I believe in self-custody as part of your stack. Not because crypto is magic, but because diversity of rails is power. That can mean holding a small amount of Bitcoin or Ether in a hardware wallet you control. It can mean keeping a modest amount of reputable stablecoin as a bridge when banks are slow or offline. But be clear-eyed, crypto is volatile, stablecoins rely on issuers, wallets are unforgiving if you lose your keys, so treat it like learning to drive a stick. Start tiny, buy a hardware wallet directly from the manufacturer, set it up offline, write down your recovery phrase on paper twice and store it in 2 separate safe places. Do a $10 test transaction, send it back, practice, consider a 2-key setup so one mistake doesn't wipe you out. Never chase yield you don't understand, and don't park your plan B on an exchange and call it self-custody. If the point is independence, you need actual control. Non-crypto options help too. A prepaid debit card funded before a trip, a money market fund at a different firm than your main bank, a relationship with a local banker who knows your name. If you run a small business, keep your paperwork current. Licenses, invoices, a simple source of funds letter. So when the bank asks, you can respond in hours, not weeks. Zoom out with me. Washington can say, we're getting politics out of banking, and maybe they mean it. But exam manuals and private scoring engines still decide who gets a turnstile swipe. The central players are powerful and not elected. Swapping one phrase out of the rulebook doesn't rewrite the models that judge your normal. If you fall outside the pattern, the door locks. Let that sink in. I'm not asking you to panic. I'm asking you to treat your payment life like critical infrastructure. The time to build a backup is before the blackout. So here's your simple plan for the week. Open a second account, move one auto pay there. Order a backup debit card, pull a small emergency cash stash, turn on alerts, write down your bank's escalation contacts and the regulator you'd complain to. If you're curious about self-custody, set up a hardware wallet and move $10 in and out. Learn it while the stakes are low. If the freeze ever happens to you, don't accept the void. Ask for the release date, the return method, the department, and the case number. Ask for a dispute to be opened and for provisional credit if essential bills are at risk. Ask for a supervisor or back office callback within 24 hours. Get the mailing address for written complaints and send one. File with the regulator, keep notes, keep receipts, keep going. The goal isn't to flee the system. The goal is to refuse dependence on a single switch you don't control. Keep a bank account for convenience, a credit union for resilience, and a small self-custody reserve for sovereignty. That mix, centralized where it helps, decentralized where it counts, turns you from a passenger into a driver. Tell people when this happens. Share what worked. Systems change when silence breaks. Your money should be a tool, not a leash. They can keep their black box. You keep your plan. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.